What's up, guys? Welcome back to the THP Strength podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the single worst sessions we've ever done to run faster, jump higher, and get more athletic. You guys may not know this. My name is John Evans. I'm the head performance coach here at THP Strength. This is Isaiah Rivera. He is a 50.5-inch vertical. If you guys are interested in getting vertical jump coaching individualized to your needs, go to thpstrength.com. We're currently running. Are we running any special?
90% off.
Okay.
And we're surprised taking it away soon.
Yeah. So it's what it is. It's individualized coaching. It's delivered through an app. We put all of the training in the app every week. You can ask anyone that lives in my house. I sit here for hours and hours and hours and put the training programs in. There are 270 different months, mesocycles of training. Some of them are even multiple mesocycles, and they're individualized based on a labeling system so that I know what puzzle piece to put in for each athlete. And then there is a group chat where you will have access to yours truly and Isaiah, also 4 coaches that we've hired that are working around the clock to answer your questions, analyze your technique, and make sure that you're doing everything safe and effectively so you can get better over time. We don't use gimmicks. We train hard. So if you don't want to train hard, just don't even bother. Just go watch my 2-day-a-week video on how to jump higher.
we just did a challenge. Whoever had the best testimonial wins a free year of coaching, and it made me proud of what we do. Sometimes I lose touch with the goal, which is making you guys jump higher, and going over that. Like I was telling John, like it's between 7 people, and the average vertical in their game was like 8. And it's ridiculous. So
that's amazing. So let's get into this.
About pain.
Let's talk about pain. Let's talk about suffering. Talk about what you did today and the absolute hell that I put you through.
I thought to use the very colorful description that I gave John. Today's workout, I thought my skin was going to split and that my muscles were just going to fall out like their intestines coming out.
Did we induce hyperplasia today? Did we induce hyperplasia?
If today didn't, I don't know what will.
Drugs.
No, I had 5 by 10 2-step squats program, which is 2 steps. You go all the way down, ass to the floor. ATF, that's the new squat. Ass to floor squats. And then you go a quarter of the way up and back down and then back up again. So you're essentially doing like 1.5 reps. I consider it 2 reps.
Well, the thing that sucks about it is the time under tension.
Yeah.
So it's 1.5, but it sucks.
It looks like 5 by 10. It's really 5 by 20. So you're doing 100 repetitions essentially. Yeah. And I did it with 200 pounds on my 2 top sets. My third to last set was 180. And I was telling John, the third set, it felt like my quads were gonna explode. Like they were gonna shoot out of my leg. Like my skin was gonna split open.
The visual was so gross.
I wasn't even in my working sets, and I could barely walk. It
was awesome. His legs look like little balloons attached to his tiny kneecaps. Isaiah has the littlest like knees I've ever seen. They taper down to just like this tiny little joint, and then like it just like boom, balloon. It looks like a chicken leg. Like if you ever got drumsticks, that's Isaiah's legs.
I told Don I couldn't feel my tendons. Like my quads were so swollen, I couldn't. It felt like I was just straight quad. There was no other anatomical part in my leg. Like I couldn't feel.
You're a glute dominant jumper, though. What do you mean? You didn't feel it in your glutes?
Like I felt like you could take a hammer to my knee and I wouldn't have felt it. Quads were just too blown up.
That is absolutely brutal. Was it worse than the 30 front squats?
Oh man. What made this one tough is that I was sore and then I had to go back in. And like the pump was so bad. The 30 front squats was like cardiovascularly really hard. Like I wanted to throw up, but my legs weren't the limit. It didn't feel like my legs were the limiter. It was like something else. Just heart was the limiter, as my dad would say when I was young. I forgot about that. Holy cow. when I would like complain or I would like look tired during workouts, he's like, "You're missing this." It's like, "You don't have enough of this." Yeah,
I can't wait to start using that in my repertoire.
yeah,
You don't get that dog in
yeah.
you.
But heart was my limiter in the front squats. For the 2-step squats, it was legit. My quads felt like they were gonna blow up. Like cardiovascularly, it felt good. Metabolic, whatever the hell you want to call it, like just my fitness wise, I felt like I could handle it. But my quads were just like it felt like I had to force me to go ass to grass. Like I had too
Oh,
much
they were that
leg.
swollen?
Yeah, like I was like, I was like pushing myself into the bottom. Like if I would have relaxed, I probably would have stopped at a half squat. Like I could just chill there.
You're resting. That's like the really fat weightlifters that their squat is so
Yo,
much because their thighs just sit on their calves at a half squat. And like,
yeah,
that's what you got to. That's
yeah.
the key
That's
to getting your
right.
squat up. We just need to make your legs fatter.
So
So,
what? So John, what are the worst squat cycles, squat workouts
ooh,
on
you're
THP?
asking what I've written. That one's
Yeah,
pretty.
I have
That one's pretty
some
bad.
other painful ones I can think of.
That one is pretty bad. They're like different types of hard. Like there's different types of hard workouts. I think the EMOMs can be rough on some of the circuits. If you
Yeah,
do some of the Prinsloo cycles, those can be hard if you go heavy enough. Like they can really get
yeah,
you out of breath, but they're not even close to what you did today. I think the 2-step squats are probably, if you do them all the way to depth, like I was like, I don't remember you doing this. I was like, I did, but I didn't get as deep as you. Like I couldn't squat that. I can't squat that deep. So
yeah.
for me, it wasn't as painful, I think, as it was for you.
I I knew it was gonna be bad when my first set was 95 pounds and it was burning. Because I
I
was
think
trying to force myself to like stay upright, go all the way down, only go a quarter of the way up, keep tension on.
you're keeping it honest. You're keeping it
Yeah,
honest.
and I was like, "Bro, this is gonna be bad." I knew I'm 95 pounds. I knew it was gonna suck.
I think that's probably the worst one I've written. It was
I have a worse
intentionally
one.
hard. What was worse than that? The front
Front
squat?
rack, 2-step squat.
I was gonna say, I was like, some front squat workouts are worse than that because maintaining posture is just absolutely brutal. And I think that
Yeah,
that can make it harder because your upper back, your neck, your shoulders, everything just gets so tired from holding the
yeah,
bar. Like belt squats are hard because it's just the pump that you get on your quads is insane. But I think if you're just talking about systemic fatigue, those 2-step front squats are absolutely diabolical. They are just
yeah.
torturous, but
Uh, I think a sleeper is slow concentric work.
like bottoms up.
Some of the work nah, like just for tendon rehab.
I don't think those are that bad.
Some of the worst workouts. Well, keep in mind, it's like me squatting, like going ass to grass.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever had a bad
Like half squat session.
half squat session, like ever. Like I don't think I've ever gone through it and been like that freaking sucked. If I'm squatting deep, every session sucks. Like except
Yeah.
maybe like 3 reps that like it gets fun. Anything past that, it starts being like I don't like doing this. Then you start getting fancy with it. Like John does some fancy shit, and I hate it. Like you need to add pauses in there, eccentric overloads,
See, those are
freaking
like a different type of hard. Like they're not the same level of hell, but they're still hard.
yeah,
The suffering is different. It's like a
yeah,
mental suffering. Like what I did today was like a mental suffering, but it wasn't, it was like fun and exciting. What you did is like it makes you nervous before you get underneath it because you know it's going to hurt. I
it's
think some of the
torture.
worst, yeah, it's torture. Some of the worst workouts I've done were actually in 2015. I was doing my first internship at Athletic Lab. And prior to that, Christian Williams, who's one of like my best friends in the world, and now he does shoulder rehab for us sometimes with some guys. But he actually writes Isaiah's upper body workouts. And he was one of the best CrossFit athletes I'd ever seen. Like I think he full snatched maybe 300 or just under. He full clean and jerked 345 or something along those lines. But those workouts were just so horrible. Like the first one we did was something like, it was like a 400-meter run, like 30 body weight squats, 20 push-ups, and then 10 pull-ups or something like that, 5 rounds nonstop, like no rest. Maybe there was a minute. I don't think so. And like by the third round, I was just puking, and Christian like could have lapped me. And I finished the workout, but it was horrible. Like it was one of the worst feeling things ever. Sometimes running 400s is, I would always puke after a 400 meter dash. And like the guys talked about it the other week and they were like, yeah, I want to go run a 400. I'm like, dude, you don't understand how terrible that event is. Like it sucks, you know, and the 800 is probably worse in like a different way, especially if you're not fit for it. But the 400 is one of those events where you can sprint the whole thing if you really want to. You got to be fit enough to do it, but you can try to sprint the whole thing at like 96%, 97%. And by the time you get to 200 meters, dude, you're like dead and you realize you still have half of it left. And you're like, oh,
you know what? In high school, I ran a few 400s and I do not remember them. I like
we can
legit.
definitely recreate that if you'd like. I would love to have you recreate that. There's a concrete track down the street. I think that'd be fine for 1 rep.
I don't know if I would like that. What's weird, what's funny about me is like, I like don't think about the consequences of workouts. So I'll go in and I'll agree to stuff, but then I have to finish it as well. So like I'll say right now, yeah, let's run this 400 and I'll do it. And then halfway through, I'm like, I regret this, but I will finish it.
I will finish it slowly.
That's what happened with the 30 rep front squat. I was like, can I just combine these two? And then it's before my brain can really like process what I'm asking.
Yeah. And I, in my head, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Sure.
If you want to, then when you're halfway through it, it's like, I've suffered this much. Might as well finish this up.
Yeah, I might as well just do this because I didn't realize how bad this was going to suck.
Yeah.
I think the worst, I did Fran, and I think Fran is 21-15-9 pull-ups and thrusters. And that was probably one of the single worst things I've ever done in my life. Like the people don't understand how fit those CrossFit guys are. Like I consider myself to be a pretty good cardiorespiratory athlete. My muscular endurance is not as elite as theirs, but like they'll do that. I think we did it at like 135. They'll do it at like 225 and they'll do it in half the time I do, which obviously their strength levels and they're well-trained for it. They have better mobility, stuff like that. But I think it's probably one of the most painful sports is CrossFit. Like it hurts so bad to do the proper workouts. And I'm not an advocate of it, like for performance, obviously. I think it's its own sport and I really respect them just because they train hard. But it is not necessarily what I'd ever recommend for a performance athlete.
I think it's important with THP specifically to do specifically at the beginning, like if you're first starting THP, to do all the general days, at least for a couple years. Because so I came from basketball in high school and there was conditioning. And in Utah, like they take basketball super, super, super duper, duper serious. Like it's like 3-hour practices and then you got weight room and then you have conditioning. And those are some of my least favorite memories of all time, purely just because the running sucked and like the type of workouts you have to do. And I swore I would never do that again, like ever again. Like I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, and at the time I was drinking from the tit of, as a dunker, you don't need to do anything like
other than
cardio that's hard on your cardiovascular system. Like it's like everything short, do under 5 reps for things. Like I never did any kind of isometric anything. The workouts weren't hard, like until I met John, right? And then I started doing John's workouts, and all of a sudden, the warm-ups are hard. You got the accessory work. We're doing high volume stuff. The general work is really, really hard, like horrible. I hate it.
That bad.
It sucked, bro. Quasi isometric. Like,
what's funny is,
mind you, I think on the continuum of like how hard things can get, it's not that hard. But coming from someone that wasn't doing any of that stuff at all, like it is hard. Like it makes you want to stop. You get the thought, I don't want to do this. I want to quit. Fuck THP. I mean, I'm swearing a lot. Screw THP. But you like get through it, and I think it's important for guys to like get through that. Like if you can, both for your conditioning, your fitness, and also for like your brain, because jump training is like, you got to play the long game. And I think there's something about like being able to show up and handle suffering every day. You get good at that. It's a skill. Like you get good at training hard. And I think that's missing from a lot of guys. And even now, like a lot of guys will switch the general days for their own upper body workouts. And I think part of it is like an excuse to not do the general work. And
It's too
I
hard.
keep in mind, Christian, John's friend, the CrossFit guy he was just talking about, he's been writing my general days for the last 4 years, and they're hard. Like they're they're the two workouts I do not look forward to every day, because it's like I'm doing carry super long, everything's high volume. Like my workout yesterday was like chin up holds. I'm there for like 30 seconds and I'm supersetting it with push-ups to failure with a plate on my back. Then I'm going back and doing it. Like it's essentially what our general days are like, just geared around keeping my shoulders healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So many guys miss that. Like, and I'm a fan of like we're loading cycles, like new cycles onto like we're just rewriting them. And I was telling John, I was like everybody's doing their own upper body, and John's like, I don't care. I want to do the thing that's gonna make them jump higher. That's the general days.
You're like, you know what? I agree with that. I was like, I don't care. I'm doing this for performance. I'm not doing this for them. Like, I mean, it is there. You asked me what the best jump training in the world was. I gave you the best jump training in the world. I didn't give you what you wanted to do. I gave you what you needed to do to get better, right? If I was like, oh, just go do what you want, you probably wouldn't follow any progression. You probably wouldn't get better, and it wouldn't be worth
I would dunk 3 times a week, lift, max out my squat, max out my power clean.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. And I would get a little fatter, a little chubbier.
Yeah, you'd be eating hella candy and cereal. So it's really not about what you want to do. I think those workouts to me are some of the most enjoyable. Like when I think about, when I came to Florida the first time and like we did the general days together, and then like, we go to the track and we run 200s, or we did, payload, the general endurance circuit, and it's like skipping for 30 seconds and then it ends with a 60-second run, and then you rest 60 seconds, you do the whole thing again. Like I remember just watching you skip around the track, dying, just suffering, and I just laughed the whole time. Yeah. And even then, like I think it's so valuable for connective tissue adaptations. Like I don't think people realize the benefit of volume for those adaptations. And I consistently always feel better with my joints when I'm hitting the general days, if my high intensity days aren't too crazy. But even things like the jump circuits, if you can handle those, you're really, really in good shape. Your load capacity is really high. I've always jumped higher, especially off one foot, ran faster during those periods of time. Like it's hard and it's very time consuming. I think that's maybe another part of it, is you have to set aside an hour and a half of your day to do it properly. And Donovan always talks about it. He's like, John's like the only one that's ever done it in its entirety, the way that it was meant to be done. And I mean, there's probably a handful of guys. If you're one of those guys, leave in the comment section below. Let me know if you're one of the guys that has done all the general days and you've done everything as written, because I'm curious as to who those people are, because I want to say congratulations. Good job. I'm proud of you. And I think that they're massively underplayed. And it's hard sometimes because it's not as sexy as like, oh, well, back squatting 5x3 at max intensities is like, going to increase the high threshold motor units, and you're going to get max glutamate frequencies and volumes with the epinephrine and all this other stuff. Like it's not going to feel like that. And it's not going to necessarily be as easy to sell, but that doesn't make it not valuable. I still think it's incredibly important to do that stuff to increase your work capacity. There's adaptations that happen to the membranes of the cells across the body. You can increase bone density. Cardiorespiratory fitness is one of the drivers for anaerobic performances, especially repeat anaerobic performances, which technically dunking is. So it has a lot of benefits that we just kind of skirt underneath the carpet and don't necessarily talk about, but they're harder than the workouts, I think. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of value in that, like you said, builds.
And I want to make a point too. We talk about how much they suck, but it does feel good when you're done. And you're like, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and pride. Like, oh, I did something hard. And I don't know. I think it's like, I was telling John, I was like, when I'm training like this, my mental health is so much better. Yeah. It's so much better when I'm just getting after it. Like, it's kind of like you ride that high like the rest of the day. So
I almost died today. Speaking of workouts.
You're on the lookout. Are you gonna post it or not?
I don't know. It was pretty. I have a few gym fails. We were going to talk about it. Maybe tomorrow we will. But it was bad. Like Isaiah's done it before, so it's not like that crazy. But with that amount of weight And like in that lift, it just looks bad. Like I've passed out in a power clean before, or clean and jerk before. And like, first off, I nearly passed out, but then I'm not going to spoil it. It just got bad.
You have to post it, bro.
I don't, does that help the brand? Like,
yeah, all attention's good attention.
Okay, I don't know if that's true, but it is a saying. It's a saying, but I don't know if it's a true saying. We'll see. But that's the podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.